The Senate Committee on Natural Resources will now come to order. Will the Secretary please call the roll?
Senator Cruz Crawford.
Present.
Senator Scheibel. Here. Senator Pazina. Present. Senator Hansen.
Here.
Senator Ellison. Present. Thank you.
There are 4 committee members present, so we have a quorum. Plus the chair, 5. Welcome, committee members and guests. I'd like to welcome everyone to the first meeting of the Senate Committee on Natural Resources, including those watching online. I am Senator Shelley Cruz Crawford, and it is my honor to serve as the chair of the committee for the 2025 session. First, I'd like to introduce myself, and then I would like my committee members and staff to introduce themselves and share something fun or any type of fact about themselves. And I'll give you a brief overview of our meeting today. We're going to go over our committee rules and what our meetings will look like in the future. Okay. I am Senator Cruz Crawford. I am very happy to be serving on this committee. I value Nevada and Nevada's natural resources. I am a lifelong learner, so a lot of this information is new to me. But as an educator, I really like to learn about new things. So I'm really going to be relying on our groups to be sharing a lot of information this session so that we can all educate ourselves. My goal is to have my children and my children's children to have beautiful spaces in Nevada for years to come, and also balance some economic items that we have to move forward, but doing it in the most precise way possible that we can make sure that we protect our natural resources. And so with that, I would like to share a couple fun facts, not about myself, but just about Nevada in general. First, Nevada is the leading producer of gold in the United States and often ranks among the top producers globally. In regard to water, despite being a largely arid state, Nevada's water resources primarily come from the Colorado River and are essential to irrigation, drinking, and electricity generation. Number 3, geothermal energy. Nevada is the leader in geothermal energy production in the United States. And agriculture. While Nevada is mostly desert, the state does support grazing land for livestock. It is an agricultural output agricultural output includes hay, cattle, and alfalfa. And lastly, biodiversity. Despite the desert landscape, Nevada has a diverse ecosystem ranging from deserts to mountainous forests. So those are some fun facts that I learned while doing research. So now I would like to invite our committee members to introduce themselves and provide any comments that they would like. I'll start with my vice chair, Senator Melanie Scheibel.
Thank you so much, Senator. My name is Melanie Scheibel. I'm very proud and honored to serve as your vice chair this year on Senate Natural Resources. This will be my 4th session on the Natural Resources Committee. I think this is my 3rd session as the vice chair, I think. Anyway, I love this committee. I also chaired the Public Lands Subcommittee during the interim, so I have traveled all over Nevada learning about our natural resources, our public lands, open and wild spaces. And through my service on this committee, I've learned an incredible range of things about different topics, but one that is my favorite is that moose have recently reappeared in Nevada, and so it is now my life's work to see a moose in Nevada. And if any of you can help me on my mission, I will accept your help, as long as it is legal.
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to relying on your expertise and background. Senator Julie Pazina.
Thank you so much, Chair and Vice Chair, and I'm thrilled to be back on this committee. I was fortunate to serve as Chair last session and chair the Interim Committee on Natural Resources, along with the indefatigable Senator Scheibel. And a fun fact about her she might not have shared is that she got married over the interim. So I'm fortunate to serve again on this committee, love it. I represent Senate District 12 in the southern part of Nevada, which covers half Henderson, half Las Vegas, and I'm thrilled to be back here. A fun fact, and I did not prepare a natural resources fun fact, but I will say that I serve on Junior League of Las Vegas. I've been a member for about 10 years now. I love the work, and I work in school gardens pretty frequently, and I did learn how to both lay tile and irrigate a garden through that work, so I'll leave it there.
Thank you so much. I'm wondering why the moose went above the marriage fun fact. So, so we'll talk about that later. Senator Ira Hansen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is actually, I think it's my 8th time serving on natural resources, 4 in the Assembly, and now it's my 4th time as a senator. My district is District 14. It includes almost all of geographical Washoe County, all of Lander County, Pershing County, Humboldt County, and northern Eureka County, and most of western, well, about a third of western Elko County. So about 30,000 square miles of the state. The issues that come to this committee are vitally important to those areas. Also, this is my favorite committee. I actually love these issues. I grew up in the out of doors. I'm a very active sportsman, hunted and fished and trapped ever since I was very little, all across the state. Fun facts, I have 8 children, and they are actually, through their mom and I, 6th generation Nevadans. I have 24 grandchildren, most of which are here in the state. And we also purchased in 2021 an 800-acre cattle ranch in Elko County. And it came with a 6,000-acre grazing allotment, even though I never owned a cow and don't intend to other than steaks and chops and things like that. But that has really helped me see some other issues from a totally different perspective than I had previously. I am actually a plumbing contractor in Sparks, and that's how I've made my living. I'm a high school graduate, but I love the outdoors and share your feelings on wide open spaces. My biggest issue this session is going to be expanding the access for public lands in the state. We have a real problem in the state with people locking gates illegally and preventing the public from accessing its own land. So that's down the road. Anyway, thank you, Madam Chair, and congratulations. I look forward to working with everybody in the committee.
Thank you so much, Senator Hansen. A lot of your area is my former area as a regent, so I got to tour a lot of those rural areas that you represent.
Excellent. And we won't have any questions about Ely. We're Ely and Elko and Winnemucca and Battle Mountain, all those places.
Been many times. The city slicker went out and went all over the place.
Have you eaten at the Star?
I don't
In
know.
Elko? Okay, well, I'll take you there next time.
Elko's a big city compared to the other ones. Senator John Ellison.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I was one of those ones that were born and raised in Elko. We worked and owned our own cattle ranches for quite a while. Our family was rodeo people, so we spent a lot of time rodeoing. I think every one of my kids rodeoed, and so it was part of our life, you know. It raised up. I think when I left the ranch, we had 32 head of horses out there. That's how bad it was, you know. Every time you turn around, another kid need another horse for roping or need another whatever. But I was raised up and around the gold mine area, the old mines. So we've been a big part of Nevada. My district now runs from Idaho, Utah border all the way down to California. So that's how big Ira's and my districts are. They're so huge, it's almost impossible to get back and forth. It'd take you a full day just to get one way. So it's kind of good to get down there and see the difference in how the state is, which, like I said, I was raised in most out there in the sticks. I cowboyed even as a young kid, buckarooing, so it was part of our life doing that. So it's good to be here. I served on this committee for 12 years, I think. Quite a while, and I love it. It's a great committee. We get issues on water, fires, stuff that we're affects us big times. And I am a private business person. I sold one business the other day. I have an electrical contracting company. We own a commercial plaza, residential, commercial lots. So we're involved with our community pretty strong. So it's, pardon?
Do you have West Wendover?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
A few times too.
Yeah.
Sorry, I asked Senator if he had. I
Thank
asked
you.
the senator if he oversaw West Wendover, which I've been to a few times and worked with Spread the Word Nevada to bring some books out there for our students.
I really like to see a bunch of us go out. They'll have a great tour of the mine. The good
Yes.
thing to do is look at some of the ranches, and those that want to get on a horse and go play with cows, we can set that up also.
Okay, perfect. That sounds fun. Okay, now I'm going to introduce our committee staff. First, our committee policy analysts are Jennifer Rudy and Danielle Cortez Ariola. And they will be helping me with the committee, with the background information and the research and potentially complex issues that come before the committee. So I thank you so much for putting up with me. And I would also like them to introduce themselves.
Thank you, Chair Cruz Crawford. This is Jennifer Rudy, one of the committee policy analysts assigned to this committee. This is going to be, I think, my fourth session, not consecutive, staffing Natural Resources Committee, 15 sessions overall, super old here. I was trying to think of a fun fact, and I'll just embarrass myself. Senator Ellison commented on high school rodeo. So way back in the day, I was high school rodeo queen of Carson High.
All right. Thank you, Chair and Jennifer. I am Daniela Cortez Ariola, staffing with Jennifer for this committee. It is my first session as a policy analyst, so I'm looking forward to working with everyone. And a fun fact is last time I counted, I had, I think, 45 house plants. So I like plants.
Thank you so much. Our committee counsel is Erin Sturdivant. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Erin Sturdivant. I'm with the Legislative Council Bureau. This is my sixth session, at least 4 of which I've staffed Senate Natural Resources, along with staffing natural resources during various interims. Fun fact about me, the Ramones wrote a song about my hometown.
I love that. And Erin will be supporting us by providing any legal advice that we need and working with me and other committee staff on bill amendments and other legal matters. Next is our committee manager, who is also my legislative assistant. So we spent a lot of time together, Mr. Carson Winters. Go ahead and introduce yourself. You can step up the dais.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name's Carson Winters. I'll be, as she said, serving as committee manager and legislative assistant for Senator Cruz Crawford. I'm a proud UNLV graduate, and this fall I'll be returning down to Vegas to continue my education at Boyd Law. So happy to work with you all.
And I'll share another fun fact. Carson, I'm a school principal during the day, and Carson Winters was my AmeriCorps member that oversaw my truancy diversion program. So he would once a month dress up in a superhero costume and bring treats to my students. So it's really cool to see him grow in his career. Next, I do have a new intern that started today. I asked him if he was nervous. He said, absolutely. I said, okay, we're going to have you introduce yourself. And his name is Brandon Michelle.
Hello, Madam Chair. My name is Brandon Michelle, and I am the legislative intern for Senator Cruz Crawford. Yourself. Thank you for your time.
Share something about yourself,
Something about myself is that this is my first day, and yeah, that's one thing. Along with when I was a teenager, I used to help my neighbors with their cattle ranching, along with horse ranching. So that is my interesting fact.
Very applicable. Thank you so much. And next we have Sherry Dittler that's going to introduce herself, our committee secretary, and Donna Kennedy.
My name is Sherry Dittler, and I relocated from California to Nevada in 1993. I began my career with the state in 1993, and I've worked primarily for the Nevada Supreme Court, the Division of Parole and Probation, and when I retired. And this is my second session as secretary for the Senate Committee on Natural Resources. And my fun fact is I've actually worked for the state of Nevada in all three components of government: legislative, judicial, and executive, and I've done legislative duties for all three.
Thank you so much, Sherry.
I'm Donna Kennedy. I'm a proud native of Reno, Nevada. My late husband and I raised 6 children, and now I have 6 grandchildren and 3 great-grandchildren that I'm very proud of, as you can tell. I worked several years at a geological exploration firm that company that, fun fact, actually found 2 currently operating gold mines in the state, D Gold Mine and Marigold Mine. So that's a fun fact. After I left the geological world, I went to work as executive secretary to the Roman Catholic Bishop of Reno, where I retired in 2021. This is my second session as committee secretary for the natural resources, and I love being here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And I know that does take a little bit of time to introduce ourselves, but I think it's really important. I'm very much into forming relationships so that we can open lines of communication. A lot of our issues stem from not communicating and not having good relationships. So thank you so much. Finally, I'd like to thank our audio, visual, and hearing. It's AVH, formerly BPS. So you might hear AVH. They said you might hear AVH and wonder what that means. It's audio, visual, and hearing, but they said they answer to anything. So thank you in advance to all of our committee staff for all the hard work we will be putting in this session. So thank you. Okay, we're going to move to item number 2, adoption of standing committee rules. Everyone should have their standing rules. And for our first order of business, we need to review and approve the committee rules. The proposed rules are fairly standard and complement the Senate standing rules. We adopted on the first day of session. The rules have been posted in Nellis. Are there any questions? Seeing none, I'll accept a motion to adopt the committee rules.
So moved.
Okay, we have a first from Vice Chair Scheibel and a second from Senator Hansen. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The motion carries. Okay, going on to the next item, housekeeping. In addition to the committee rules, I'd like to provide some general reminders. The committee meetings will begin promptly at 3:30 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you are detained, please let me or the staff know as early as possible. If a member must leave a meeting, please let me and my staff know if and when you'll return. Committee members will be courteous to each other, and to witness, we will want to create an atmosphere of professionalism and respect. Please make sure your laptops and cell phones are turned off. Remember that vibrating cell phones on desks will interfere with the recording. The public is advised that during meeting, legislators and staff are using laptops to view bills and exhibits and not for personal reasons. Please do not interrupt our looking at our, interpret. Don't interpret us looking at our laptop or our cell phones as not being engaged in the work. This is how we look at the work. Please note that we'll be requiring everyone to submit exhibits 24 hours before the meeting in electronic format. A few reminders about testifying before committees. Please sign out on the table by the door. Give the committee secretary your business card if you have one prior to testifying. If you're not testifying, you may want to sign in so that there's a record of who is interested in a particular bill in case the committee needs to contact you later. When testifying, please turn on your microphone and clearly state your name. Sorry, Brandon, I didn't tell you that before. And affiliation, if any, for the record. Then turn your microphone off each time you're done speaking. If you have a handout for the committee, you'll be asked to provide 10. We changed it. We're natural resources. It used to be 20 hard copies. We chopped that in half. 10 hard copies to the committee secretary and used for the public. One of the things is, too, we're asking our committee members to also bring in your own water in a reusable container. And if you do need water in disposable water, please let Ms. Rudy know. We will be taking public comment at the, Mr. Winters. We'll be taking public comment at the end of each meeting. I may limit public comment to ensure everyone gets a chance to speak. Please feel free to provide any additional comments in writing to the committee secretary so they may be added to the record. Okay, we're moving on to number 3, presentation of the committee brief. Next, our committee policy analyst will present the committee brief. And I'm trying to say that slow, drag it out so you can walk there. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Rudy and Miss Cortez. If there are no questions, we will, oh wait, sorry. I was supposed to then have you present and then say those. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Cruz Crawford. My name is Jennifer Rudy. I am one of the 2 committee policy analysts serving the committee this session, and we thankfully do not have the opportunity to come up here and address the committee very often. So we're going to take advantage today, but we're going to go very quickly through the committee brief. This is a tradition on the first day of almost all committees. Staff prepares a committee brief that provides general information about the committee and then presents that committee brief to the committee. So the committee brief is up on Nellis, and you should also have a hard copy, many of you. And very briefly, it covers the staff for the committee, the pre-filed bills. It provides a list of the pre-filed bills and the session deadlines. We include those just so everyone is aware that the committee passage deadline, there will be long committee meetings potentially leading up to that in all the committees to get those bills heard and passed out of committees. And then there will most likely be some committee meetings canceled after that in order to allow the floor sessions to go a little longer and bills to be voted off the floor. Most of you know that and have experienced that. And then June 2nd is sine die. But those are the deadlines. Some bill statistics from the 2023 session. There were 38 bills referred to this committee in the 2023 session. There were 30 voted out of committee and 20 were adopted or signed into law. There were 2 vetoed bills. On the first day of session yesterday, the Senate adopted the Senate standing rules, and with that, I'm going to turn it over to Daniela.
I'm Daniela Cortez Areola, Committee Policy Analyst for the record. As Jennifer said, the Senate adopted the rules, which included rule number 40, and usually, except for pre-filed bills, bills are referred to each committee by a vote of the Senate according to jurisdiction guidelines. And lastly, we have provided some relevant reports and publications from the research division along with the some audits from the executive and legislative branch. As Jennifer said, this brief is in Nellis, so any links that you'd want to look through will be on the electronic version of this brief. Thank you.
Would either of you like to go through how we're going to be running the meetings with the first half of some informational and the second half of the hearing of the bills.
Thank you, Chair Cruz Crawford. This is Jennifer Rudy, Committee Policy Analyst. I left my calendar sitting at my seat, but there will be presentations, some informational presentations at the start of each meeting, and then followed by 1 or 2 bills being heard. And they will generally coincide. The agency that is doing the overview presentation, it will often be one of their bills being heard that day. So that will be starting next week, starting with the presentation, followed by a bill hearing.
Thank you so much, Ms. Rudy. And we did meet today, and I am in the military, so I'm very technical with stuff. I'm the Equal Opportunity Officer for the Air Force Guard, and so we will be running presentations at 15 minutes, and they can request longer. I think it's respectful of people's time to know what start and end times are. And then we will be hearing bills at 15 minutes as well, and then they can presentation of bills, and they can request more time if they would like to. Thank you. Thank you so much. If there's no questions, we'll move on to our final item on our public agenda. Or sorry, to our final item on the agenda, which is public comment. So item number 5, is there any public comment here in Carson City? Okay, I like to give a little bit of wait time as an educator. Is there any public comment in Las Vegas? AVH, is there anyone waiting to provide public comment on the phone lines?
Thank you, Chair. Your public line is open and working, but you have no callers at this time.
Thank you so much. Seeing there is no further public comment or no further comment to start with, that concludes our first meeting. Our next meeting is going to be on Tuesday, February 11th, as the meeting on Thursday has been canceled. We have I forgot to add one thing, we have 11 bills so far that we'll be hearing, so it's totally okay that next week is canceled, okay? We want to have some fun meat as the session goes on. This meeting is adjourned.
Welcome.